Okay, in this video, let's create a simple function to scrape the data from this Yahoo Finance website before we actually implement it in our stock market analysis tool. All right, so let's go back to the code, and we have this views.py, right? So in this views.py, we will not create the function inside the views.py. So we'll actually create a Python function. Let's say stocks.py. Okay, it will be just like a simple test.py, right? We have created test.py to learn the basics of web scraping. Similarly, we'll create one more function. Let's call it as stocks.py. Okay, so we have the stocks.py, and we will create function. Okay, we'll create a function to scrape the data. Let's call this function as scrape stock data. Okay, scrape stock data. And in order to scrape the stock data, we need to send a request to this particular URL, right? That's what we have been seeing right now. So we want to send the request to this particular URL. Okay, and for every URL, this stock symbol will be different in case we want to see the stock details of a specific stock. So the stock symbol we need to pass with this particular URL. Okay, so now let's actually look at what we have done here in the test.py. The first thing that we need to do is import these two packages, right? From bs4 import beautiful soup and import a request. All right, so let's import that. Okay, all right, so let's import these two things, and when we have these two things, we can actually send the request to the URL, okay, using this request package. Okay, so let's say URL, right? URL is equal to, what is the URL now? Let's consider working on Nasdaq index data. So this is the URL now. This is the URL. Copy and paste it here. And in this URL, this is actually a dynamic value, right? Let's call it as a symbol. Okay, let's call it as symbol. And to this URL pattern, we need to pass the dynamic value. So that's why we need to format it using the F string. Okay, now from where we are going to get the symbol? So in reality, we are going to get the symbol from this particular drop down. So when you click on this, get info, and the symbol will come to this particular function. Symbol will come as a dynamic using the parameter symbol. Okay, we'll pass the symbol, and while calling this, we will simply pass the arguments as a symbol, right? And okay, not symbol, so we can pass, let's say, TSLA. Okay, so this is the Tesla symbol. Okay, so every time we submit the form, this will be different, right? So whatever stock we have selected, the symbol will go to this function, and this URL will trigger and get the or scrape the data. Okay, so now we have the symbol, and if you want to see what is the actual URL now, let's run this. Wait one second. Python stocks.py. Okay, you can see this is actually the full URL, and if you change this Google, if you make it Google, and you see it has become Google, and appl, save it and run appl, right? Now if you copy this one, and go to the browser and paste it here, then you can see it is actually okay. Let's see apples. Okay, AAPL, sorry, not APPL, it is AAPL. Okay, so now this URL is ready. Now let's trigger this URL from our code. Let's say a request. Okay, we'll send a, let's say, response is equal to request dot get. request.get, then pass this URL. Okay, let's pass this URL. And now if you look at the response dot body, not body, it is content, response dot content. Let's see what we get. Okay, see, you can see it's a lot of data we have got, right? Okay, so this is in fact the whole HTML, right? You can see HTML starts from this doc type and it is ending, right? So this is the whole HTML of this page. Okay. Okay, next step, we will actually pass this using the beautiful soup class. Okay, so how to pass it? So first thing we will do is we'll actually say soup is equal to beautiful soup response dot content, comma, the parser will be HTML parser. Okay, as I said in the earlier videos, HTML parser is something that we use to clean up the response content so that our, okay, so it is parser. Okay, so HTML parser is used to clean up the response content so that our beautiful soup can navigate into the HTML element of this content. Okay, so that's why we use HTML parser. Okay, so now if you print soup, let's see how it looks. We are now seeing the structured HTML so that it will be easy for us to navigate through the elements. All right, now next step is to, for example, let's say we want to take out this price, right? So this is the current price, and if we want to take out the current price, what we can do, just right click on it and go to inspect, and here we can observe the HTML element. You see there is this HTML element called fin-streamer, right? Fin-streamer, and it has a lot of classes and attributes, right? So these are custom attributes. Okay, so whatever attributes that starts from data here are called custom attributes. Okay, so you can create any number of custom attributes. So one of them is the data symbol, okay, and data text, data field, data trend, and data price hint and value, right? So inside this fin streamer, text is this one, and this data or this price is also inside the value attribute as well. Okay, we want to access this particular value 185.92, right? So the best we can do here is we can access the fin streamer element. Okay, and after that we need this data symbol, right? So this is a unique symbol, right? So we want to access this data symbol as well, and in that data symbol we'll actually fetch the value. Okay, so let's see how we can do it. First thing, let's say current price is equal to soup.find. Okay, soup.find. We are not using soup.find all and all because you see we are particularly targeting data symbol with this particular stock. Okay, so that's why the find is enough for us. Okay, we don't want to use find all. So find. So inside the find, we'll first just open this f string because we are going to pass the dynamic symbol, right? So that's why first we'll have to navigate to fin streamer, right? So just make sure tag name is correct, fin streamer. Okay, so inside this fin streamer we want to access this data symbol. All right, okay, just you can simply say data symbol like this, just copy this. And okay, so you know what, we cannot copy it like that because here we need to actually pass it as a dictionary. Okay, just open this dictionary, and the key will be data hyphen symbol. Okay, data hyphen symbol, and the value will be like this one, the dynamic symbol. Okay, just make sure you are doing it right. So soup.find, we are first accessing the FinStreamer element or the tag, and inside the FinStreamer tag, we have an attribute called data symbol. So this data symbol has, it has the dynamic value of the stock symbol, right? So which in this Apple's case, right? So we have opened this Apple. So that means it has the symbol of Apple. So which is AAPL. Okay. So that's what we are writing here. So in our case, it will be dynamic. Okay. So now after this, we want to actually access the value of it, right? So the actual value is here. Okay. Value is equal to, value is also a attribute, right? So now let's access the value of it. Let's say once this is done, we'll just say value. Okay. It should be inside the quotation. Okay. So now at this point, if you print the current price and let's run. All right, we got the error, type error. None type object is not subscriptable. All right. So this one, I made a mistake here. It should be AAPL. Okay, AAPL. Let's run it. And you can see 185.92. Okay, so now let's select another one, which is Goog. It is for the alphabet. Now you can see 144.24. If you want to see this, you can see it is the Google, right? It's a Google 144.24, and we are able to scrape the data now. Now let's try to fetch another one. Okay, so far we fetched this one, right? So this time we'll fetch the previous close amount. Let's inspect it, and here it's actually a TD, right? So let's soup.find for this previous close. Okay, we got the current price. Let's say previous close. Okay, so this is just a test file. Okay, we are not implementing it anywhere. Somehow we can copy this code when it works to the to this views, but right now we are just testing whether we are able to scrape the data from Yahoo Finance or not. All right, so let's try to find out the previous close. The previous close is soup.find, and soup.find, let's pass the f string. Okay, no, we don't need f now. We just want to access the TD. Okay, we just want to access the TD, and inside the TD we have this attribute called data test. Okay, so the value of this data test attribute is prev close value, right? Whenever you want to target the element with this attribute and the value, you can use the dictionary like this, right? I'll say comma, and I'll say data test colon the values. Let me copy that, prev close value. Okay, prev close value. All right, now if I print this previous close, of course I will not get the proper data, but I got this element itself, right? The thing that I'm interested in, this particular value 143.67, right? How to get the value of it? Okay, so you see it is actually inside the TD element, right? TD is opening here. This is the TD opening, and this is the TD close. In between it has the text, right? So that's why what you write here is dot text. All right, and now if you run, okay, so whatever text it has inside the TD data test prev close will be shown here. Okay, all right, now this is for our Nasdaq index. Let's go to one of the stocks of NSE index, Tata Motors. In your case, if you are using a different index or different exchange, then you can try similar things with your data also. Okay, so I have only NSE index data and Nasdaq index data. If you have China index or Hong Kong index, you can try such tactics. Okay, so this time it is the URL is different, right? So what I'll do is I'll copy this URL, and I know this is actually NS index, right? So what I'll do here with this symbol, I'm going to say, I'm going to take exchange here, and I'm going to pass the exchange NSC. Okay. So here what I'll do is, if exchange is equal to Nasdaq, then the URL will be like this. This is the URL for this Nasdaq index. Okay. If the exchange is equal to NSC, then the URL will be different, right? So this will be the URL that we just copied. So here we need to pass the symbol here, right? So first thing, we want to say F here so that we can pass the dynamic symbol here, right? Symbol dot ns question mark p is equal to, again we'll pass the symbol here. Okay, symbol dot ns, and this is the fin search. Okay, so this time this code will decide whether, if the symbol is of Nasdaq index, I mean Nasdaq exchange, it will go to this URL, and if it is NSC, then it will go to this URL. All right. So I hope it is clear. And now, if I go to Tata Motors, if I pass this Tata Motors to this function, save it, and just pass this as NSC. Object is not subscriptable. Okay, so let me, all right, I think something is wrong here. If I pass AAPL and exchange is Nasdaq, okay, so it is giving me the correct previous close for the Nasdaq exchange, but when it is NSC, okay, so what I'll do is I will actually print this URL and see what is happening. Okay, print this URL. Tata Motors, right? I'll copy this Tata Motors and save it and run it. Okay, I'm sorry, it should be NSC. Okay, the URL I got is like this. Let me copy this and go to this URL. Okay, I'm getting the data. Line number 13, which is this one. Let me comment this out and see what is happening. Okay, so when I comment it, I got the previous close. Okay, so there is something wrong with this current price. Okay, so let me, okay, so this is symbol. All right, so the problem is the current price, you see, inspect like this, no? So data symbol is Tata Motors .ns. Okay, so we are passing only Tata Motors, right? So you're passing Tata Motors, right? So when it is Tata Motors, we will make this symbol, we'll append this symbol to Tata Motors dot, which will be like a symbol plus, we'll add, we'll concatenate ns to this. Okay, so now this will be Tata Motors dot ns, just like this, Tata Motors dot ns. Actually, this is the format this Yahoo Finance uses to fetch the data. All right, so when the symbol itself is the Tata Motors dot ns, we have already added this ns. That means we don't need this dot ns again, and we also don't need this dot ns again. Now it should work, and the symbol is already symbol dot ns, right? Only in case the exchange is NSC. Okay, so this time if you print current price, and previous price, Okay, previous, it is not previous price, it is previous close. Okay, so now if I run this, okay, so you can see now current price is 796.55 and previous close 781. Okay, perfect. Okay, one second. Current price should be 816, right? Why is it 796? All right, so this could be because we did not pass the headers to this request. Okay, so with this request, we should always pass the header. Okay, I thought I'll explain about the headers later, but we encountered this problem, right? So what I'll do is I'll have to pass the header will be like this. Okay, headers is equal to, so I will actually attach this header in the resource section of this video, and you can just go and download it or copy it. Okay, so because this is a long line, right? So user agent is Mozilla, and it can be Windows 64, x64, Apple, and Chrome, Safari, right? So we have mentioned some browser here, so that means we are mimicking our request as a real user. Okay, so that this Yahoo Finance website will give the accurate, I mean the correct answer or the correct data. Also, it will not block you from accessing their website programmatically. Okay, so when passing headers to this URL, okay, when you say headers is equal to headers, then what we are actually doing is we are mimicking that this request is being accessed by a real user. Okay, so real user from this particular user agents, like for it can be Mozilla, Apple WebKit, or Safari or Chrome. Okay, so that this Yahoo Finance website will know that this is not a bot or something, so it is the new user requesting for some data. So that's why just give him the proper response. Okay, so now when you pass these headers, and if you say Python stocks.py, you can see the current price is 816.45, which is you can see here, and the previous close is 815.65. Okay, so that's what we got here, 815.65. All right, so not only these data we are going to scrape, we are also going to scrape some other data as well. For example, we are going to fetch the prices changed, this one we are going to get and store in the database. The percentage also we are going to take, and we are also going to take the PE ratio and dividend and all that stuff. Those things are necessary for analyzing stock. Okay, so this was actually a test code that we wrote in order to make sure whether we get the proper data or not. Okay, so in the next one we'll actually create a model to store the scraped data in the database, and then we'll click on this, and when you click on this get info, then we should be able to show the user the proper data that we have fetched. Okay, so we'll do all that stuff in the next video.